guys, it's Max. I'm here with an update real quick because today we actually have a duo episode for this week of the Proving Grounds pod. We have Raafaa as our first guest right here. We had him on for a Twitch episode because we're trying to get that affiliate over there. We want to get a bunch of those episodes out, so we had him on with our live reactions to the big league playoffs. So if you didn't catch the live stream, then we have some clips of that we've put in at the beginning of this video. And if you did, then you probably already watched all of that. So you can skip right over to the second guest, which is Chippys this week, the top laner for Maryville. Timestamps will be in the description of this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. And here we go. Yeah, you're the outlier.
I'm much higher on Kenji and Saskio and Doxa than I am on Revival's core.
It's out
of Sudsy.
All right, we're doing this later. It's out.
Oh my god. No effing way.
It's Barrage Solafide. Oh,
the semifinal rematch.
The top side of that bracket. Oh my god, the pants that Raafaa's wearing are lit.
Oh yeah, these are
my wait, the entire top side. Wait, yeah, the entire
top side of this bracket is
fighting to play Maryville.
It is absurd. No. EGP can beat Maryville.
EGP is pretty good. Okay, you guys got to look at it. The bracket's out.
This bracket, okay. I'm gonna put a screenshot in here. This bracket is illegal. Like,
oh wow.
Actually, like this follows all rules. Everything I weighed out, but this is the stupidest, like, most illegal bracket I've seen. Oh my god. All right, this is absurd.
This is so Papega. Holy shit.
They're only going to stream one of these matchups, guys. Oh.
I might have to break my rule about not doing team streams for this.
Anu versus Anu is happening.
Hold on. I'm
wait, Max, is that the one that we're doing tomorrow?
So I guess we're spoiling it right now. If Anu versus Anu isn't the mainstream, Raafaa and I are going to cast that. So be ready for that. But yeah, Barrage Solafide, that for all intents and purposes should be the mainstream game.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone.
I'm putting the link in here, dude.
Yeah.
This top side of the bracket is stupid. Oh my god.
This is insane. That's Cubby, that's a fucking best of 3.
Maybe Barrage will beat Solafide this time.
It's a best of 3, man. I actually forgot about that for a sec. I'm upset now that I remember this. Oh, it's best. It's only 3 games possible.
Low rolled again.
Oh, you guys, big league people, if you're listening, please.
No, this is random. This is all legal. Like this follows everything.
No,
right?
no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying quarterfinals should be best of 5. It's so stupid. That's best of 3. Oh, it's so dumb.
I love how
anyway,
rolled each other again.
That is really funny.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh no,
dude. Okay, well, Barrage Solafide, that you gotta stream that game. You gotta stream that game.
And then the next one they stream is probably EG Prodigy's Maryville, right?
Yeah, you got to do that for semis. I actually think that's a really interesting match because those are probably the 2 best macro teams that we have at the moment. When Barrage has a good game, that they run it the cleanest, but they make some mistakes, like just with like PCL and sides, and then sometimes APA Fnatic don't get on the same page, or like they take a fight, like they like team fight a lot, so like sometimes like those just naturally go wary, right? But EGP Maryville are actually 2 pretty good macro teams. Probably the 2 best that like we have, and so I'm actually really interested to see that matchup. I really want to see that matchup.
Oh,
I think EG. I think it's gonna be really close. I think it's gonna be a really good series.
Yeah, the way that Maryville are gonna play against EGP, I mean, if
it's gonna be
Zeus stated this, Zeus stated this in our little.
He says 30
chat.
versus America, but it's gonna be 30 versus us, baby.
Yeah,
Chippys, they play through Chippys.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, the thing is that Maryville, the way they are playing is just forcing teams into uncomfortable situations where like forced errors can occur most of the time. So if EGP are more focused on their macro and they're not necessarily ready to get skill checked by Maryville, because that's what they have been doing a lot, then EGP are in for a wild ride. And if it's a best of 3, they have less time to figure that out and adapt.
The top side of this bracket is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So, like, if we're going to get into, like, our top 6 teams, like I was saying earlier, there's a very clear difference between the top 6 teams and the rest of the teams that we have right now in Proving Grounds. Those 6 teams are Maryville and EG, and then the top 4 teams in that bracket, right? And for me, you can kind of
argue...
Both
the new teams, Solafide and Barrage.
For me, you can kind of argue those teams in a lot of different orders and probably sell me on it, right? Like, who do I think is better between Solafide, Barrage, EGP, and Maryville? You could sell me on any 4 of those teams, like, really. And, that's going to be really close. It's going to be, it's like, top side of the bracket is going to be insane.
Cindy,
by
you
the
don't
way,
have to apologize for
Cindy,
anything.
you don't have to apologize.
No,
not be sorry.
like,
this is the bracket's all legal. Like, it's exactly like I was talking through. 1 seeds versus 2 seeds. Opposite
you didn't
sides
do
of the
anything
bracket.
wrong.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
You did nothing
this
wrong.
is how it panned out, and this is crazy. It's crazy.
Cindy is the one good student in the group project that everyone else just was like, oh, we don't feel like doing this at all. And
by illegal, what Cubby really means is that like there are like super competitive matches in the quarterfinals, and it's best of 3, and that's not your fault. But like,
the
fact that we're getting like super competitive.
This is just how the bracket panned out.
Quarterfinals,
the format of it's crazy.
We have really good teams, and that's like we're hype more than anything. So it's really, you don't apologize at all.
Holy smokes, though! Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair,
crazy.
If they had properly seeded the groups in the beginning, we probably wouldn't have Solafide and Maryville University having to split 1 and 2 seats. I mean, I'm just saying. So,
to be fair, though, like, we also didn't know what they were going to look like, right?
True.
So,
I think like once we're at this stage of the tournament, like the seeding, you can't really like be too mad because
not at all.
I mean, you can and you should, because the seeding was terrible, but it was designed in a way where it's like the top 8 teams are the top 8 teams and everyone else is random. And these are the top 8 teams. So that's just kind of how a cookie crumbles, you know? But you know, are you laughing at me or what?
No, I'm sorry. What chat is saying? It's like, with our luck, Big would do best of 5 quarters, the best of 3 semis, and the best of 1 finals.
Game 5 is an ARAM.
Oh wow!
Blind pick.
It's like the old blind pick game 5. Oh, that's fun.
What the fuck? 2 Shens?
Okay. Let's give predictions actually. Or should we do our power ranks first, or should we do predictions?
No, I think predictions. Power rankings will explain themselves.
Okay. All right. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll go from there.
Which match?
Because I think 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just off the bat.
So start with Maryville?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just off the bat, I think Maryville 2-0s this.
Is anyone going to vote for Winthrop?
No.
No, Maryville 2.
Unless Mark is. Mark,
no.
Thoughts?
I love Frost Force, but the teams are really stacked.
Maryville 2-0s. Winthrop makes 1 game close. I'll put it that way.
I do think both
Winthrop's
games are not going to be close.
I'm at least glad that Winthrop's not getting slept on anymore. Smax, you're way too high on Maryville, and I can't wait to make fun of you for it afterwards.
I can't wait to be right when Maryville does not lose a single game in the whole bracket.
All right, yeah, no, you're fucking wrong. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, I think Maryville's very good, so I think they're beating Winthrop. All right, match 3. I think we're all predicting EG. Yeah.
Yep. 2-0. I don't think that's close.
Yeah, I think 2-0 also. Mark?
This is for what?
EG versus Revival.
Oh, EGP Revival. I could see it 2-1. I think Revival could take a game.
No.
I think it would be through the bottom lane, to be honest. I think
EG's bottom lane. I think EG's bottom lane is actually like improved a lot. Also, Revival is not the Saskia team.
Oh, never mind. I take that fucking back.
Yeah.
2-0.
No, I agree with you. I think Winthrop matches up much better with EGP.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in Kenji and Saskia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same here.
And Doxa is like, I think that Doxa's being a little bit overhyped, but like he still impresses. I just think he's being overhyped.
There is a stat that I came across the other day for the Risen regular season. Sir Kenji had the highest KDA among any other support in the entire league. Or I'm sorry, he had the second highest assists. The first one being Zazel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Very nice. It's actually really shocking that Zazel is the highest because they've played the minimum amount of games possible and they've lost 2 of them.
Zazel's
so
very active on the map.
that's a really, really fucking good stat, actually. With the context of that, like Zazel is getting a lot of assists, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, all right. So Mark, are you locking in your 2-1 for EG?
No, it's 2-0 now because I thought it was Saskia Clyde, but that's the Winthrop bot lane.
So we're all matched there also. All right, let's go to match number 2. I am gonna say a new main 2-1.
Who's the new jungler for Blaze now that City is gone?
Really big meme.
Really big meme.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna go
right now in support.
I'm gonna go a new main 2-0.
Well,
I literally think like they like coin flip and like maybe a Lorem like comes up with like, you know, like screwing Vipers like aggression over to one, so like then they win. But no,
So remember, kids, last time we saw this matchup, a new Blaze won out and 2-1 against the new main. When they played their quarterfinal matchup against.
That was 3-1 for a new Blaze. Yeah.
Oh, 3-1 because it was a best of 5. So
yeah. You say that, Ian, but they do draft like noobs, so I think it is gonna be. Closer than 2-0.
I'm
sorry to cut you off, Mark.
No, you're good. That's a good point to answer from Ian. I am going to put faith that this time Five Fire is going to play for real and not limit test with Yone. And that a new main will win 2-1.
Okay. Mark and I have the same prediction. Cubby's more confident in a new for that one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now we got the big
now
boy
it gets
here.
Interesting.
So Barrage Solo Fide.
4NA, 2-1 Barrage. I think Barrage has cleaned up some of the early stuff. Solo Fide definitely showed a weakness against Maryville, and I think the only way that you exploitate Solo Fide is you get ahead really early, and I think Barrage is really good at that. That's I thought Barrage showed like a lot more sloppiness in Risen. They've cleaned some of that stuff up. I think that they're gonna. Yeah. I think that they take this one 2-1. It's gonna be a really close series though. I think these are two of the best teams still.
Yeah, based on a similar conversation that we all had when we were bashing Big for having best of 3 semifinals, because me and Cubby were like, if that was the case for Risen, then Barrage would have gone on to the finals instead of Solo Fide.
The series was super close.
So I will also say, and this time I'm actually more confident in Barrage. Don't fucking let me down. 2-0 against Solo Fide.
Okay. I think that Barrage is. I'm gonna go with Barrage too, but I think it's for like a slightly different reason. I think Barrage is actually better suited for a best of 3 than a best of 5, based on what we saw from them in Risen once it did get to best of 5s. I think that they looked really focused on what they wanted to do in the first few games, and it got less and less as the series went on. So I actually think that this is a favorable format for Barrage, and I think it's 2-0 for them. Because I think that they come into it with a very solid plan. I think their prep has been very good from what we've seen from them going into series like this.
Mm-hmm.
And they've played against Solo Fide before, so they should have that unlock as well. I think that I'm gonna go 2-0 for that reason.
Ian brings up a good point as well, because this is a best of 3 and they're all East Coast. They will not be playing past midnight into 2 a.m. for the best of 5.
True. See, there you go.
Fix that sleep schedule, baby.
See, Ian is fitting my narrative. You're doing a great job with that one, man.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the semi matchups. We
all predicted the same thing.
We are
so
unanimous. This is where we don't go unanimous.
Probably.
EGP versus Maryville. Who do you have?
Yeah, let's do that one first. I already told you I'm gonna go Maryville 3-0.
All right.
I'll elaborate once you guys give yours.
Raafaa.
When you look at the strengths of EGP, is Tomio better than Odd Orange?
It's a very fair question.
I think across the board, Chippys is better than Surdy. The bot lane for Maryville is way better than EG's bot lane. Wolfie may not be
on Shiro Mist, by the way. I think they actually look a lot better. For what it's worth, I'm still going Maryville 3-0.
Sure.
Shiro's legit.
Yeah,
Shiro and Tomio
they look a
legit.
lot better than they did on Zenith. I think you're remembering Mist in a light where he was much worse.
Mirage.
It's not that.
Yeah.
I'm remembering that they lost to the Anu Blaze bot lane. So
Raheen's pretty good though.
Yeah, Raheen Breezy's.
Raheen's pretty good. Yeah. I haven't seen.
Pocket
Brown yet.
I mean the Anu main bot lane, and then Anu Blaze beat them, and so that's why I was like, whoa, if like Anu Blaze beat the new main, then there's no way that they lose to the EGP bot lane. But they did, so it is what it is. But anyway, I still think Evan RL and I think Shady is by far the best support in this tournament right now. So, and I think Evan RL has shown a versatility among other bot laners that no other bot laner is showing to or willing to have and be as consistent as Evan RL. Maybe he's not as strong as a carry like Shiro, but his versatility is very useful to Maryville's drafts. I think my only question then is the jungle and the mid duo matchup, because Aspect is very good and Tomio is really good.
I think
and
Aspect's
he's very
being
explosive.
slept on significantly, by the way. He might be one of the most underrated players that we have in grounds, like where I've seen like him being.
I'm not gonna let that go by as well. For those of you who didn't hear Mark just say this, he just said that Shady is the best support in the tournament by far. I want to hold him to that. So just throw that out there. Zeyzal and Winter exist.
Are you
sure?
So you think Shady's better than Zeyzal?
I'm just saying. I know. Hey, Winter, love you, homie. Shady's a beast though.
Shady's good.
Who else?
I'm not telling Shady's good. I think Zeyzal's the best player on the Rift in the entire tournament and was in the last tournament.
Sure.
Yeah.
I am also taking a lot of faith on Tanner's word and waiting to see how that matches up. But still, I mean, like even if Solo Fide were coming from a fresh finals and a weekend of best of fives, Shady looped around Zeyzal. I would like for Zeyzal to have another chance to redeem himself against Shady and have a better showing, but the way it was, Shady was just destroying. Anyway,
it was a really good series from Shady.
Yeah. With that being said, I think it is very possible for EG to take Maryville a game off or 2 games. So
when's the patch hit?
This Wednesday. So they will be playing
tomorrow.
on a new patch.
Are finals going to be on a new patch?
No.
Yes.
Semis are on a new patch, and then finals are on the same patch as semis.
Oh,
I mean, it's still
amateur
a new patch.
blows sometimes, man.
Yep. No tournament realm. So. Also,
what's the projected patch notes? Because my prediction
11.3
actually
is a gigantic patch. 11.3 is huge.
My prediction actually heavily involves the patch notes.
I wish Tier 2 got tournament realm.
Why is Elise getting nerfed? What the?
We'll see the full patch notes tomorrow, but they are heavily affecting like a lot of champions in that one. Like Shyvana's getting a bunch of random AP ratios. Like,
that's just what we all need.
It's crazy. There is a bunch of stuff.
They buffed
in the patch.
Karma?
Well, yeah, they buffed Karma, Cubby. They're not nerfing Moonstone Renewer. They said that's not a problem. So they're also making it so Immortal Shieldbow has the same base stats as Gale Force, except also 10 lifesteal. And it's a stupid patch. I promise you. Like, oh my god, it's a bad patch. It's coming. And
I will say 3-1 MU over AGP. By the way,
Maryville 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. I think EGP can definitely take a game or two, but I will go for the balanced and 3-1.
Why are they giving Shyvana AP ratios?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's going to be fantastic.
It's horrible.
I'm hold on, I'm speedrunning this. I never really read patches until they hit.
And they're nerfing Udyr.
Yeah, they're nerfing Udyr and not Kai'Sa,
they did
not
nerf
Gore
Staff of Flowing
Drinker.
Water. That actually is a big deal.
Yeah, they did nerf Staff of Flowing Water, but Moonstone is untouched.
Not Kai'Sa.
Okay,
not
so
Gore
a
Drinker.
lot of this for me, like a legitimate a legitimate thing about my prediction is I think that on blue side, if Maryville gets Twisted Fate, the game's just over. I think that Wolfie gets a lot of flack for not being the strongest individual player on that team, but one thing that Wolfie does superbly well is he gets out of lane really well and plays with his jungler really well, always.
He's looked quite good.
Fantastic example was against 100 Thieves next in game 2 of that series because they hammered him and they focused him down, and he still was very useful and provided utility for the team.
And I think Chippys versus Surdy. I think Surdy is an individually very skilled player, but he's not ready for Chippys. And I think that if Twisted Fate goes over to them on blue side, I think that Maryville is going to end up kind of being stompy. That said, I think you guys are severely sleeping on AGP. I think this will be a really good series. I got 3-2 Maryville, though.
Cool. I think Evil Geniuses is good. I just think we already talked about this matchup in specific as being the two best macro teams that we have in the tournament.
Yeah, and that's also something they're nerfing a couple of the junglers that I don't think I saw Hecarim on that list. That is a big pick for Tomio.
Hecarim's not nerfed.
Yeah, and I if Maryville do screw up any of those executions, getting Chippies ahead, and Tomio has a pick like Hecarim, I think that he can definitely really scale with the rest of the team, and they play macro well enough for they can pull that off, right? So I do think it's actually going to be a really close series. I'm just going with 3-2. Also, Oldoff got nerfed, which is important because I don't know if you guys have seen the VODs of Maryville. Chippies likes to play that top lane too, and so that does hurt Maryville a little bit more. I have a lot of faith in both teams performing always, and so I think it's gonna be a 3-2 Maryville. I'll give Maryville the edge just because I think that I think Chippys is really good.
Big fan.
Forgetting about SF again, are we? Oh god. Oh
god. We may possibly be doing that. Yeah.
We've yet to talk about the other semi.
Yeah. Okay. So we all took Maryville there.
3-0, 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah. I'm sticking with it. You already know what my finals prediction is going to be. It's just going to be what team we send up there.
Yeah. Okay. You are cracked out of your mind for this, and not in a good way.
Okay. No matter who wins match 1, I think match 5 is going to be the least close of all of the series, actually. I think no matter what teams go into match 5. So for reference,
you think Anu is gonna get stomped?
I think Anu or Anu
Either
Blaze
Anu,
will be
yeah.
stomped by Barrage or Solafide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so bummed we only get 3 games of that matchup, man. Because it really did deliver like all 5.
God, that was such a fun series.
It was a fun
to cast
series.
too.
Yeah, it was a fun series.
I think throughout that entire series, I had never seen like such back and forth.
No, it was
opportunities.
well played games from both, and it was very very fun to watch. So
Yeah.
Like I said,
that series, if they don't stream it on the main big broadcast, then what are they even doing?
I will break my rule of not casting team games to cast that if they don't stream it on the
for real
on the side.
Hit up Cubby if they don't cast that.
Yeah,
for Barrage POV.
I will break my rule for that.
By the way, if there's any big broadcasting talent in the chat, please tell your producer or whoever's in charge of the streamed games.
Pick that
stream Barrage and Solafide. I promise you, it will be really good.
I don't like breaking my own rules. I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
pick that one.
Yeah. Anyway, so for our projected semifinal, there it'll be.
I have Barrage edging that one out 2-1 in a close one. I have Barrage beating whatever new team they face, either or. I have them winning 3-1. We'll put it that way.
I have a 3-0.
Return
is just confirmed that it is Barrage Solafide on the mainstream. So we do know that for a fact now. So great.
Yay.
Biggest
but
competent
at
picking games on the stream.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I'm going Barrage beating Anu 3-1.
Also, just quick little update. I couldn't find a green plaid shirt, so I actually just ordered 2 sweaters. So I'm gonna have them by the 9th. It should be on broadcast in the later week.
Very nice.
Anyway, moving on.
That's my take there.
Yeah, I think that Barrage Solafide are once again I think there's a clear difference between the top 6 and the rest. I do think that we are kind of selling a new main a little bit short. Keep in mind that I
just haven't seen it yet from them.
Dude, they look.
I need to see it.
Like a lot of those big games, I know they're slamming weaker talent, but also because they got beat up, maybe they have a little bit more respect. Maybe Viper starts getting on stuff like Camille, like Riven, right? And slamming people that way.
He played Riven and they didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
It was not good. I have casted their last few games in the big league round robin. Very, very unimpressive. It was not clean by any stretch of the imagination from them. They should have lost. They should have lost games in the series that they played that I watched them play in the past few days. I really do think that I just need to be proven wrong. I am by every single time that I watch them play a game where they monkey around in the laning phase without a real care in the world, and they don't have a good sense of focus on what they want to do as a team in the first opening, because I know that they can. I know the players are capable of that, but they need a shepherd to get that going once the game actually starts, because they're not operating as a unit at all. And until they do that, I don't have faith that they can, because I
haven't
keep coming in with optimism and I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen them with their new support, or Blaze with their new support jungler, if we're getting back onto that track. So I
watched the jungle perspective, so I watched a lock screen Udyr series, which was
of RBM.
Interesting. Yes.
Some really big meme. Like I said, man, that guy's Pocket Kha'Zix
That's a
is
fun
scary.
stream.
His Pocket Kha'Zix real scary. That said, I think they're gonna come out and definitely have some better looks. Zig has coached teams to win before. Fire has won amateur before. I just think looking at Barrage and Solafide, I still think Solafide only drops games when they're sleeping, right? Or sleeping on a team. I think no matter which team they face, they're not going to be sleeping on the other team. And I think that Barrage can rival a News early game and will punish crap picks like the Vayne top, and other teams cannot. PCL will not let him get away with that, especially if he gets jungle help from Fnatic, who I still think is the best jungler in this tournament. I think if it's Sola Fide going up against them, I think Tuesday can somewhat control Fire in the lane. And once again, like, you're running those crap picks in the Dokla. Like, it's
yeah.
I mean, just look at how Academy went. Dokla got the best of Viper like every time. So,
Right, for sure.
I really think that like maybe Onda Fire can like step up. But I also think that like if Sola Fide is not sleeping on a team, I don't think they're gonna lose. I think that a part of the reason they lost to Maryville is that Maryville had 2 weeks of footage on them, and they were sleeping on them because they just got out of Risen Finals, and a lot of competitive best of fives to get on out. So I don't know who's gonna like. I predicted Barrage 4NA is fun. I think that it's literally a coin flip, and like either of those teams that goes through, I think they just win 3-1. I give a new one game where like the cheese works, but
sure. I would say that in relation to Anu and their trajectory as this Proving Ground circuit continues, whether they clean up their consistency by this first iteration of Proving Grounds or the next one, I think much similar in the vein of 100 Thieves are currently going through. I think maybe it's going to be another one of the situations, because we remember last year when with that a new roster, they're like, holy shit, Mike Young, Winter Shoryu, Fire, and Rodov. That team should win the whole damn thing, or that team should be like a top dog. And then they were like griefing and inting
They were
games.
dicking around for a while, but then they did it.
And then they finally like got their shit together, or they finally learned how to play around Mike Young, or
they started playing warm up ARAMs.
See, the problem that I have with that one, Mark, is
which
that
Barrage does. That's why I'm taking Barrage.
If the people, I think it's really like, it's unlikely that a new team is the same 5 players in the second Proving Grounds. That's my thing. I think it's really unlikely that it happens. I think someone in the academy space is gonna be like, man, our jungler is kind of sucks. He's kind of bad. I want Onda. Let's pull him out of that new team and get him in here, because we know how he operates in the academy space.
Yeah, but why would you take Onda when Fnatic's also around right now?
Yeah, that's also true, right? But
I think Onda's a beast player, and I thought he was the best jungler in Academy last year, but like Fnatic is the best jungler in the tournament right now.
Yeah. So yeah. I think that's definitely a fair point. But I think that like that could be true of a lot of these players in this team, right? Like 4 of them have been on academy teams in the past. Like Fire, yeah, he was a sub, but it's still like they do have a pretty deep well of players that they can just come through to Proving Grounds and grab up, right? That have been in the academy space before. And like I think bringing up Fnatic there is a fair point, but like I think Onda would be the second choice for that. If they're pulling straight off of like face value. Like maybe it'd be better to pull up Tomio or someone else like that.
It depends on what purpose that they want, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I think for the second Proving Grounds, I think that conversation is like really tough to have. But I think the point that Anu did turn it around and win that split of the summer, I think that is a really good point. And
Same
I think
coach,
that, like,
Fire's still there.
Right. When it comes to the main event, like we know this team is going to be in top 10. We like with the way that they're playing, with the way that they already have accrued a bunch of points. We know they're going to make it to that top 10 and go to the main Proving Grounds event. So,
also, I'm going to link a tweet in here that makes sense, as our friend and respected colleague XT worked the points for the top 10. I don't know where it went.
I'll drop it in here.
There is a 4-way tie for 10th right now. Oh,
he deleted it.
Oh, XT, why are you doing this to me, man?
XT.
Well, unlucky.
Anyway, there is so he totaled up the points so far. It's a 4-way tie for 10th between Wildcard Gaming, Team Clarity, Illinois State University, and 100 Thieves Next.
Yeah, Ian is correct. It is top 10 that make the tier 1, and then they move on from there.
Everyone else is done.
Yeah. So, yes, you are correct. That is how that operates.
Okay.
And a minimum of 6 teams make it to from like amateur. Minimum of 6 amateur teams make it, and if they beat Academy, then it gets higher.
So our finals are either Barrage Solifide against Maryville. I'm honestly 50-50 on Barrage Solifide. Like, I know I said Barrage, but like I'm truly 50-50.
It is really close. I think it's very fair to say that like it will be one of those 2 matchups.
I think that whatever matchup it is, though, I have a different result for the final.
AP has got a question real quick that I can answer. The top 10 amateur teams make it to the first tier 1, and if you're a team that isn't in the top 10, you're done for the Proving Ground split.
You have to wait for summer. Yeah, you have to wait for summer.
So the 11 and 12 teams, those come from Academy. So the bottom 2 seeds from Academy go, and that makes up the 12 teams that are going to be in the UEA tournament. And then it gets lower and lower. No new teams are added other than the Academy teams. So that's how that works.
Finals prediction. What is your final and what is the score? Smax's Maryville 3-0 over Barrage, I believe is what he had.
I think the result's the same if it's Barrage or Solifide. I'm sticking to my guns here, fellas.
Yeah, your guns are wrong, but moving on. Raafaa. Raafaa is the truly intelligent analyst that we have here instead of Smax. He has gotten too close. He has gotten too close to his hosting role at Risen and has forgotten about his game knowledge and common sense. The hot dog bit crushed him.
Oh, man.
I think Maryville will win this final, but I think it will be extremely close.
Against Barrage?
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters?
I don't think it matters.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
opposite
because I think the way that Maryville University want to play the game stylistically destroys Solifide. So against Barrage is a very interesting matchup because Wolfie plays for the team, right? And so he's going to get out of lane, but APA is also trying to get out of lane and play for the team. Mm-hmm. So they're doing similar styles. So and I think Fnatic and Odd Orange style they do similar things. I don't think Odd Orange plays as much for himself as other junglers, and neither does Fnatic. Fnatic also plays to snowball his team. So it really just comes down to the top lane matchup. I think Chippys is way more consistent than Pie Cake Lord. And
wow, that's a bold take right there, Raafaa. More consistent than PCL.
Yeah, you got any evidence to back that up?
Yes. The 2 matches that we well, actually, so the funny thing about Pie Cake Lord is that he played very tame in the series against Solifide, right?
I'd say he played well in the series against Solifide.
He did play well. Mm-hmm. But I'm also saying that, like, compared to the moments when he was like put down, he did not just int away like his disadvantages or made it worse, right? Whereas when we remember the Supernova game, he just randomly, as Silas, took Malphite ulti, flash ulted with no follow. And everyone's just doing Baron. It's like, all right.
PCL, I don't know what you're smoking, but yes. I'll have some.
So I mean, like,
hey, that's Jack's line.
So okay, so all right, let me re-clarify. If Maryville is against Solifide, I think they handily beat them 3-1. Maybe Solifide.
We just got back.
Maybe Maryville limit test too far one game and they don't get it right, and Solifide are able to slow down the game, and then they play late, and then they play better than Maryville. But I think if they play against Barrage, I think it's a closer matchup, and it could be 3-2, because I think something that APA and I talked about on our very first episode of Initiative.
We'll drop links for you at the end of the show. Yeah. I'm serious about that.
Is that when he played on the Supernova roster, he told me that, Evan RL is a good player, but he's not a carry like Gorka. Gorka is absolutely insane. So, and there's some scrims that were leaked where Barrage and Gorka in particular got like 4 quadra kills in a game against Maryville. So, I mean, Gorka is absolutely insane.
Raafaa's making his finals judgment off of leaked scrim data. Do you want to come sit in my collegiate scrims where it's like a Diamond 1 average and see how messy those are?
Yeah, but I mean, that's Miami State, Ohio. That doesn't matter, Cubby. So like
I know.
Just hearing that, Dylan? Jokes. You suck.
Anyway. Okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Cool. APA didn't leak any strats or anything. He just said Gorka popped off, man. Don't worry.
What was your match score, Mark, for the finals?
If it's Solafide, then 3-1 for Maryville. If it's Barrage, then it's 3-2 for Maryville.
Okay.
Wow. I can't believe how high you guys are on Maryville. I think
they're really good.
They are a good team. I think that they instantly prove that they are a top 4, top 5 team. But I think that this playoffs is going to prove that they aren't quite the top team yet in amateur. Close series against EGP, where I have going Maryville's way just because of how they play around Chippys. But I think that one's a 3-2, like I said. I think it's going to be a great series. I'm actually really, really, really looking forward to that matchup.
Yeah.
In favor of
Maryville. I'm giving it to Maryville because of Chippy's diff, right?
Cool.
Like EGP, over EGP, right?
Cool.
That said, for the finals, right? I am coin flipped on Barrage and Solafide, and I think whoever wins that matchup makes it to finals. If it's Barrage, I'm giving Maryville a 3-2, just because I think that playing around Chippies and PCL definitely showed he played really well on the map, but in lane against Dokla at times struggled in matchups where like he had some like priority, like the Gnar Renekton matchup specifically.
God,
he had a winning jungle matchup, and it went really south in one of the games that they won. It was better in game 5, but game 2, it was super bad for a while. And I think that Chippies and Wolfie can definitely punish that exactly the way that it was punished by Dokla and Winston, right? So I think that Maryville can actually just barely edges them out based on that. I will also give you the nod. I think that Shady is a really good support player. I've been immensely impressed by really Winter's play so far in this split.
Winter has been playing really good.
A lot of that is because I not only is Winter playing awesome as the main engage role for that team, but also Gorka and the way the Barrage team fights is I still think they're the best team fighting team that we have in NAM. And a lot of the reason is because they get a lot of practice with that because they do like to flip stuff, right? That's just a part of a team with APA and PCL. So
we have some sweet matchups.
I think that for me, the Barrage Maryville series is actually going to be like one of the more interesting ones because I think that if Maryville can like absorb the early pressure that Barrage usually leans towards, they'll like end up edging them out in the end 3-2. But like I think it's gonna be really close. I think Solafide is like better than Maryville at their own game, and I know that Maryville did 2-0 them, but I think that given what Solafide was coming off of, and given the fact that Solafide by no means is going to underestimate that team again, I think that Solafide is going to beat Maryville 3-1 if they do make finals.
What is this game that you
absorb it? They're very good at absorbing pressure, right? Which is like historically what Maryville teams have done well at. They absorb pressure, and then they play around their top lane, right? Solafide, I think they're just better at absorbing pressure, and I think that Dokla can also match up against Chippies really well. And so, like, the Chippies diff for me just, like, goes away. And so I give Solafide a 3-1. I will say, though, that you have to take away Twisted Fate from Maryville. If Maryville gets Twisted Fate on blue side, I don't think they drop a single game where they have that champion. Wolfie is way too damn good at it. It plays way too well into like what they like to do on the map. And if that champ isn't banned, those teams are trolling if they're on red. You have to take away TF. Because it's way too easy to just B2, B3 TF. Now, if you want to leave it up and like really, R2 it, R1 it, that's fine. But it's way too good for Maryville. You have to take that champion away.
Yeah.
Speaking on, and if Zoo wants to clarify for me in the chat, he can. But the reason why they beat Solafide was not because of a macro game. It's because
I think it was.
Fine.
You can push your point. Yeah, I disagree, and I'll say it later. But you
sure.
Can push.
The idea is that Maryville are looking to just, I don't want to say they're coin flipping early game, but they are moving and making rotations in ways that teams are not going to expect, and their whole goal is to make teams uncomfortable.
Right, but that's with Shady. Like if you're going up against Zeyzal, there's no way that Zeyzal doesn't sniff that out. Like Shady is support capping everyone.
Even up against Zeyzal, from off of the strength of what we spoke about, he is not only just looking at the amateur teams here, but he's also looking at the academy teams that they will face up against in Proving Grounds, that even they are not going to be ready for what Maryville University are looking to plan. I will say that against 100 Thieves, they played a lot slower than I was anticipating based off of when they played against Solafide, because they fucking Zerg rushed them, if you want to get into StarCraft terms. They just hyper aggroed, and Solafide were overwhelmed by the amount of aggression that Maryville had. So I think that's how Maryville will beat Solafide, is that they're going to be very they're going to bulldoze them in the early game, and maybe Solafide do a better job of absorbing that pressure, but I think that's how Maryville will play to that strength.
Okay.
To get more as to why I think Maryville are winning off of macro, specifically, I think the way that they came into the Solafide series with their early game plans was very, very good. Like specifically the first game, their level 1 just went across both sides of the map for Odd Orange, and you just got pressure everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, but Olaf is going to be nerfed, and also Solafide is not going to snooze on that. Like they had no taped go off from Maryville.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair.
Yeah,
but I think you still can't go into this and say that they haven't been winning off of macro. Is what I'm saying, because that's what they did against Solafide.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that they I'm
losing my voice now.
Yeah,
sure you can tell.
They're not mindlessly just aggressing. They are taking calculated aggression moves to then take macro advantages. But that there's limit tests that teams would not be expecting them to take, and then they get macro advantages that way. So just to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just saw that Niall said the exact same thing as me, which is very funny. So I got a little bit distracted. But yeah, I think Maryville has a very creative way of advancing through macro as a team. I think they do rely on Twisted Fate a lot, but until we see,
I don't know why teams are not just blinding him on blue.
Really good.
He is. I think that he's the most busted champion right now in the meta, and Europe has figured this out. And for whatever reason, the other regions haven't. And I don't know why no one is just blinding TF. It's actually busted as shit.
We're back in season 3 meta. Let's go.
It is very illegal. I promise. I mean, you can punish it with stuff it plays the sides way too well.
By the way, I'll give you this freebie here, APA. The way to beat it is by slamming Nocturne mid. That's the way you do it.
By the way,
it is undefeated in Europe.
That matchup is so good for Nocturne.
I think it just doesn't matter though. He just gets out of lane. I mean, Nocturne can follow.
So does Nocturne.
It's definitely it's a good matchup for him.
It's a really good match.
I haven't seen TF it hasn't lost yet in Europe.
Yeah. Well, they're not trying Nocturne.
They're blinding it on red, or they're banning it on red now. Every game, they're just getting rid of it. I think it's
people
really
not
busted.
Play Silas into it anymore?
No, they do. But you just get out of the. You just go win your sides.
Mm.
I'm telling you though, if you want to leave Twisted Fate up and they blind pick it, slam Nocturne. I promise you, you will win that matchup.
You can open up games with B1 Renekton right now and then slam like Lilia TF, and then you just like run the
Right.
map. Like it's
I'm
really
not saying
strong.
that Twisted Fate is like easy to counter. It's not. It's a very, very strong champion, but I'm just saying Nocturne exists and they buffed it. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Maryville has shown the cleanest League of Legends so far in Proving Grounds. And it was against Solo Fide. So that's why I'm so high on them. And
I know you
I
are.
think that their creativity is off the charts as well. Like that Poppy support game was super good. Like I know they have a lot of cool things on that team that they can pull out. So I think that they are favored to win the entire tournament. I think once teams catch on, like if a team catches on to them in the playoffs, then really big props to them, because I think that's going to be really hard to do.
I think that
frame.
EGP series is like gonna be so
we'll see.
close. I think it's gonna be so close.
We'll see if they do it. I think Maryville is just favored at the game that Evil Genius is playing. So that's why I'm a little down on that one.
I think it's gonna be a really close series.
Yeah. Well,
I've got Maryville edging him out, but I think it's gonna be a really close series.
I stand by my thoughts.
If
As I've said
Max, okay, we have to make some sort of bet then with you if Maryville doesn't drop again. We have to make this fun.
If Maryville, for each Maryville loss, I have to do something.
No. We have to just do something. If Maryville does not drop a single game in big, Raafaa and I have to do something stupid.
Wait, what?
You haven't cashed in on the last stupid thing that you did for me.
Why do I have to do something?
All right, then just me. What kind of podcast bet we making here, Smacks? I know that.
Oh, I don't know.
Just like for reference, I know that other podcasts in the past have done what they like to call a Lord bet, where you have to refer to someone as Lord for an amount of period of time. Like you make like Lord bets. I'm not going to copy another podcast, but like that is something that is reasonable.
We'll come up with something.
Okay.
I don't know. Would be looks like we're rating returned after we're done here. Look, it's Cassidy. She probably wants me to go to sleep.
Why are we rating returned? Is he gonna leak what he sent?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh man.
He tweeted it. So there it is. All right. Well, we'll let Return talk about that. If you wanna hear what he has to say, then we'll rate him after.
We're just gonna go rate Return right now because I don't want to deal with that dumpster fire. But
he
does.
I have one more thing that I think would be fun for us to talk about.
Oh, okay.
If you guys are down for that.
And I also want to. Okay, Raafaa, let's let you decide. If Maryville goes undefeated, what stupid thing do I have to do to appease Smacks?
What stupid thing you have to do? Oh, Smacks gets one free tweet on your Twitter. He gets to tweet anything that he wants.
I am so down for this. Let's go.
Okay, and then the other way too.
And then the other way, if Maryville drops a game.
No.
Okay, wait.
No. This is a one way only. I will do this one way only because what you are saying I think is very absurd. So we'll do this. If Maryville doesn't drop a game, Smacks, you get to make one free tweet on my Twitter, and we will do it at the end of like an episode that we record with someone, and they can help out as well. Raafaa, that's a banger idea. Okay.
All right.
That.
Cool. Well, I guess this is risk averse for me, which is great. I guess I get
Smacks,
the public shame of being wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, if you're wrong, I feel like I have to do something like 1/10 of like the amount like that is, right? Like
you cannot delete this tweet, by the way.
No,
and
I cannot delete
it
of course.
It must be pinned. It must be pinned.
No. I'm not doing that. It cannot
No,
be
we don't have to do that.
Okay,
we don't have
just
to
kidding.
pin it. We don't.
Yeah, I'm not. I have my reel
All right.
and my info there, so we're
Yeah. We don't have to do Cubby that dirty.
Okay.
When I'm right, of course. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
if Maryville doesn't drop a single game,
great.
do you get one free tweet?
They haven't yet. They're 10-0. So
They haven't yet.
I'm going strong. All right, sweet. Let's get into the last bit, and then we'll let Cassidy sleep, and then we'll raid returned over there. Okay, so here's the last thing that I want to do here. I want the three of us to make a Proving Grounds super team.
Oh.
Or a more like what is it? A more focused and like tangible way to say this is like, what would the Proving Grounds first all pro team be this far?
Oh, okay.
And I'll go first. I got this like down pretty good.
I have a pretty all right idea of a few roles. I think the easiest one actually is Chippys.
Yep. So my roster right off the bat, it would be Chippys. I would take Fnatic with the honorable mention of Tomio. I would take... Shit, who is my mid? Honestly, I feel like I got to take Tuesday. And then I would take Gorka Zazel.
Okay.
I think mid's a little bit tricky because like I've only seen like one style from Tuesday, even though I know that he plays the other style. So he just hasn't been able to sync up with Winston like for that, or like they haven't put it on stage yet. And so I'm gonna kind of like give Tuesday the nod and like no, like I know he's more flexible like than what he's shown so far, and have him number one. Also, 5Fire would be number one, but you can't go 2 and 10 on a 0. So.
Okay, Mark, do you want to go second? Or you want me to go second?
You can go second. I still need to think.
Like I said, I'm taking Chippy's top. I also agree that I would take Fnatic in the jungle. My honorable mention would actually be to Onda because I think that I think that he is
team's a little flawed at the moment.
More individually skilled, and if we're making a super team, then I'd prefer that to.
Dude, Fnatic has been playing so well though.
Yeah, like, Fnatic is my number one guy for sure.
Yeah.
Number two, or not number two. For mid, I think Tuesday's pretty fair. I actually would take APA for that. I think that
best of 5, not that like APA played bad, but I think Tuesday got the best of them in that best of 5. And after
Tuesday did look really good there.
After that, I can't take APA yet. Now APA can prove that by beating up Solfide, and I'm so they've got a lot of matches left.
I'm going APA for that. I think that's the closest one.
I think mid is the most highly contested. They're like between them and 5Fire, and then I wouldn't put Wolfie on my super team, but I think Wolfie's been playing well so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think it's just a slam, same as you, Cubby, Gorko.
Oh yeah, Zazel
is pretty free.
If Raafaa wants to argue Shady, that's fine, but that's
I think Shady's fair. I think Winter's fair.
I think Winter's been playing. I think Winter, Shady, Zazel are a step above every other support right now. Big step above.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Pocket Rhino. I will put that caveat. I haven't seen Pocket Rhino yet, but
yeah, he might be really good.
I think
I think Gorica is. Now that I think about it, I think Gorica is actually the clearest answer for his role. I think Chippys is a close second.
I will say, Value has been performing very consistently and well.
I think Value is actually the strongest player on Anu right now.
The most consistent one for sure.
Hard agree.
But
he's the only one that doesn't have academy experience.
Just funneling Gorica, like the way that they funnel him and like the way that he delivers, and the only hit you can have on him is like his champion pool so far, but also like he's winning games with, like the same strat, right? We're just gonna play 80 carries that are mobile, and then he's gonna get all the golden carry. So you can't really fault him for that. And
all right, Mark,
he's an 80 carry. You can pull out other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mark. What's your squad?
Start with the easy ones.
Gorka Shady, bottom lane. Honorable mention would be Wolfie.
I think Wolfie's had a really good showing so far.
I think especially with what this meta is playing towards, I think
his Twist of Fate is fantastic.
Yeah.
Not as good as 5Fire is still the best Twist of Fate, like in AM, but his Twist of Fate's really good.
Yeah. When it comes to global champs or well, so it's funny. Like if it's Twisted Fate, then it's a Wolfie Slam every single time, right? If it's just global champs in general,
then it's APA, I think.
You would pick APA, but when you need a balance
or
of the
Aspect. Aspect's pretty fair to put there too. I think mid's a pretty cool role.
I think Aspect's being slept on, but he's not as good as the others.
I don't think so either, but for that in specific, I think Aspect is breaking into that conversation.
Yeah, I think so. There's a couple ways. So if you want to play towards either a side lane, then you take Wolfie as your mid laner. If you want to make sure that mid lane doesn't lose, and mid lane will, not saying that Wolfie doesn't know how to quote unquote lose a lane, but he's great.
No, he's really good at losing lane and impacting the map. Like he's just not great. He's just not a great laner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really like to see Tuesday versus Wolfie. I would really like to see that matchup.
I think it's just gonna be a worse run back of APA versus Tuesday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, but I think as of now, the best mid laner in terms of consistency and damage output, or not damage output, but just like in terms of like what we've seen are the best champs right now, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
I think Tuesday.
He's playing really well.
Like, I mean, the way he played Syndra and Orianna in that series was disgusting. So
it was really good.
His game 4 Syndra man against that Vayne was, oh my god! You cannot play it any better than what Tuesday played those fights.
Yeah,
Barrage is like kind of hinting into those scatter of the weeks, but still, I mean, every single one, just Vayne could not move.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think if you have Gorka Shady Tuesday, it's an easy bot lane. I would definitely take Chippys as well for the top lane. Jungle is kind of interesting because I was trying to think of like, depending on what the jungle meta is. I mean, sure, the easy answer is to say Fnatic because he's shown the most versatile. But I think, and I know this is like, we're looking at junglers now, like who are performing now. But I think in a world where 2 months from now, I think Matty Moo will become the best jungler in amateur.
Are you just saying this to tease your next guest, or we real about this?
No, because Matty Moo has drastically improved within the 2 years here.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people are sleeping on him as a jungler. I think he's mechanically insane. I would hope that he becomes the next Honda Scouting Grounds prospect, or if Honda Scouting Grounds still existed, he would be the next jungler that I would want to see highlighted there, because him being able to I know solo queue is like one thing completely different, but it translates in game, and what all he needs cleaned up are playing with the team and having his macro game worked on. But I think when it comes to mechanics, he is insane. However, now...
Are you putting him in the super team?
No, not now. I'm just trying to give him an honorable mention. Like, I think
that's a hell of an honorable mention. I'd also like to shout out Trickster, who is not playing in big, but I thought Trickster, if you're talking about players that are improving fast, was very quickly went from a nobody to someone that really impressed a lot of us on Wildcard.
Yeah,
he's real good.
I'm really bummed that roster didn't keep on competing. I thought they would have really been able to take some of the top names.
Trickster is insane. I still think he needs a little bit more time, but you are correct. He is definitely insane as a newcomer. I think Matty Moo with his he has finally come into a point where he can get there.
Yeah. I just don't see him being better than Tomio.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tomio is probably by far the best 1v9 carry jungler, but I think Fnatic is the best jungler all around.
Okay. I was between Fnatic and Tomio because I think Tomio has been fantastic so far as well.
Yeah.
And he really quickly went from being I am an insane solo queue Rengar player to I am a really good competitive jungler that can carry a team.
Yeah.
In the span of
Tomio's real good.
In the span of 3-4 months, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, remember when we had no idea who he was coming into Honda Scouting Grounds, and then he just
instantly
showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say this publicly. I made a like first impressions tier list or like power rank sort of thing of like the 20 players, and I had Tomio last. I had him 20th.
Oh no. I remember our discussions were like, I wonder if he's gonna be. I thought he'd be better than Rosethorn because I was very low on Rosethorn.
I had Rosethorn pretty low too, but
Yeah.
I did have Tomio last. So
Anyway,
there's that.
all right, we have our super teams. I think we're wrapping up here.
We do.
Raafaa, I'm sharing your socials in the chat before we host return. Is there anything that you want to say or promote? Floor is yours.
Oh, I'm on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube and Instagram, all at RaafaCast.
I got your Twitter and or YouTube in there. I'll throw your Twitch in there too.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I mean, like any social media platform, you'll find me with just RaafaCast.
Yeah, follow Raafaa. He's even cooler than he is here.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw in 2 more Raafaa promotions here for those of you who are still listening. Mark and I are officially casting the Anu versus Anu Blaze match tomorrow. That is happening.
Woo!
So definitely come check us out there. That'll be twitch.tv/Anu Esports whenever the playoffs are happening. I believe it's 8 Eastern. So definitely check that one out. Also, one other thing, as I already mentioned, the 3 of us will be on the Cup desk again, and I'm very excited for that. You better be as well, because Cup is gonna blow these other guys out of the water in terms of the just everything, pretty much. So very excited to be a part of that. And yeah, that's my Raafaa coverage. Also, if you missed it earlier, a good friend of ours, Beora, put on his 3rd installment of In the Round. So now all 3 of us have been guests on that, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's a different format, but I really appreciate it, and it's good content. So definitely go check him out on his Twitter, and then also I think it's Twitch/Beora.
With an A in there, because like
Beora, yeah. Oh yeah, Beaora, yeah. Beora.
B-A-E.
That's him.
For fans of the Proving Grounds pod, we will be back Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, with Chippys, who we're sitting down to talk with tomorrow. That's going to be a little bit awkward because quarters will have already happened. We're talking to them before quarters.
Yes, we are.
Semis are not Wednesday because that's Academy, right?
Semis are on Saturday.
Okay, so we'll have missed 1 match with him, but that's okay.
Yep.
And if it's a shorter one, then Smacks and I will figure out a way to fill some extra time. We might link some of this in there as well, talking about the playoffs if we have to parse some things together. But
yeah,
for sure.
If I am free to plug, I have just
please plug. No, go. You were on. This is your time to plug.
So I've already publicly announced that I will be sitting down with Maddie Moo this week. I don't know if it's gonna be on Wednesday. I don't know if they'll be streamed or not. That'll be up to him. But I actually have 2 more guests already lined up that will happen this week. One will actually not be a player. It will be with Morgan, because I want to sit down with him and
that's really cool.
And discuss. Yeah,
he was the mastermind behind the initial wildcard roster and is the coach there. And it was really cool. Like, one of the reasons I'm bummed that team disbanded is that I was actually talking with him about talented young players like a couple months prior. And he was talking about like Luke Dapshin, and he's the one that like put that roster together. So all those guys,
great guy.
Yeah, good guy, really good guy.
Yeah. So I kind of want to pick his brain.
What's the other episode?
The other one, Plux reached out to me, and so I'll be sitting down with Plux as well.
That's really cool.
I'd also be interested to hear from Plux, who is an up-and-coming support. Needs a little bit more time in comp, but has some talent. He has some good hands.
He's been improving at a very alarming rate, because he was a Yumi before. So,
and I think the thing that will be nice to give him a chance to speak on a platform like this is to kind of get away from the the stigma that he got during Honda Scouting Grounds, which was that he was the weakest support there.
That's
right.
I mean, he was, but that team was broken. So
It's
but
rough.
I'm interested to hear him talk.
Yeah,
that's two good ones.
Yeah,
for sure. That'll be
So,
good. Yeah,
those will all be coming
you.
out at some point in time this week.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for dropping that. I'm excited for those. For sure.
Hey guys, Cubby here. Hope you enjoyed part 1 with Raafaa. It was a blast sitting down with our good friend to talk about the preview of the big league bracket, even though looking back as I record this a day later, some of it was wrong, but hey, that's part of the fun of making predictions, right? Part 2 with Chippys is coming up next. Just wanted to pop in and say we are streaming this podcast on all platforms, so please shoot us a follow. We are on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube, and Twitch, all at /ProvingGroundsPod. Really appreciate the support. Also on Twitter, we are at PGroundsPod. So tune in for us teasing our guests there and linking all information to keep up with Proving Grounds Pod. Without any further ado, part 2 with Chippys coming up next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Proving Grounds Pod, your one-stop shop for all things Proving Grounds. My name is Specs, and I'm joined today by my constant co-host, Cubby, and also our guest, Chippys, the top laner for Maryville University's red team. And we're really excited to have you on today, man. We're going to have a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm super, super glad that you're here with us today. How are you feeling?
Feeling not too bad. Just ready to play.
I like the arena, by the way, as for anyone watching on YouTube or Twitch. That is the Maryville arena in the background, and it appears that everyone's still on the gamer hours because you're the only one in there.
True.
Either that or class.
Again, bro.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Once again, thanks for having you on, or thanks for coming on. We're really excited to have you. And definitely want to dig into, I think a lot of people were, surprised at not only the end of kind of the league that you had going on over in for the Asa region, but also the fact that a lot of those players ended up coming over here, yourself included. So what kind of made you pick Maryville? Because I'm sure that wasn't your only offer.
I had a good talk with Zoo, and he just seems like someone that really cares about players and developing them, because so many organizations in Oath are just they just don't care about players. They just treat them like batteries. When they're done with them, they just chuck them out. But Zoo is he actually cares about the players, so I think it's a good place to dip my feet into NA, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's in the collegiate scene here too. So you guys get to go the whole Grand Slam if you're winning everything that is. So,
that's true.
I mean, we have been seeing you slam some people rather grandly in C-Law.
You trying to fit a Gragas reference in there, Smacks, at all?
Maybe. That wasn't exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
But,
he's been body slamming people in the top lane. That's how you gotta put it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're seeing you guys go for the turret destruction compositions.
Oh yeah,
All
for
right,
C-Law. Yeah.
C-Law.
How? So do you guys have Winthrop has the record right now, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think they got 9 minutes for the speed runs.
Damn. Oh yeah, because I think they verse an Iron team. But we've been versing Plats and stuff, so it's a bit tougher to close out.
Yeah.
Those guys put up a fight.
For background, for C-Law, the tiebreaker is fastest game time, and they do ELO seeding. So a team like Maryville, you guys are playing the lowest seed in the North right off the bat. The collegiate team I coach, we're actually in a different conference. We're in the MAC, which is the ESCA. So we don't have to deal with that. But it was pretty fun, being in the North, because you do have to speed run. It does matter. Actually, it's kind of dumb, but that's how it is. So yeah.
It doesn't feel fair, because some of these people are just playing for fun socially, I guess. But you're just you have to crush them. It feels bad.
It's definitely the way that they organize collegiate could definitely use a Pixie, because teams like you and Winthrop are on an entirely different level. And I think that all teams and all schools should be included, right? It's just let's have a different, division for them compared to what you guys are doing. So obviously you guys put a lot more resources into it, as we can see behind you.
True.
Yeah.
Are you telling us that Lucian support isn't the most competitive thing you guys could possibly be running?
There are better supports right now, for sure.
All right,
we gotta keep the flex ready though.
It's a 4-way flex for Maryville, ladies and gentlemen. Look out.
I'll keep that in mind for my solo queue. Maybe don't pick Lucian. I do have Mastery 7 on him though, so
oh wow. Subtle flex.
Fun.
Yeah. Pretty skilled at the gunslinger there. So Shady is my inspiration for that one. But yeah, so you're coming into this Maryville team. The two guys that are, well, I guess it's three guys that are remaining because Evan slotted in because Value graduated, but we got Wolfie and Shady and Evan. And then you and Odd Orange are the new guys to the Maryville team. How is it feeling like coming into that team? I know it was a little bit recent because of all of the things that you had to do to get over here. But how is that team environment looking so far?
The first few days, I didn't really know what's going on because I don't speak American yet. I don't know what they were saying. It's hard to explain. Like they say, like, oh, just pull Nash here, but like in OS, no one says pull. Like pulling is like when you pull Dragon out of the pit, you know, so they can't smite it. I'm just like, what are these guys talking about? But now that I've learned their language, it's like it feels really comfortable playing here. Because I don't know, you always get one or two people that are just like, I don't know, like immature or selfish or whatever. But here everyone's really experienced and for the team, so you can pretty much like ask for any resource or do anything, and like they'll just help you out. So it feels real comfortable right now.
Wait, okay. So what would pulling the wave be in New Zealand speak?
Pulling the wave would be like before it crashes into tower, you walk out, so the minions follow you. You know, like you're pulling them towards you. But
okay,
here it means like engage, I guess, or like start. I think.
That's actually pretty funny. I didn't realize that. I know like EU calls Baron like Nash, right, or like Nasher.
Yeah.
So like that makes sense. But that's kind of funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think in Korea the lanes are lines also. So just like different things across everything. Of course, they don't even speak English for most of the time, but
yeah,
they're calling things a lot of different things. But I don't know.
That's funny.
That's really interesting. That wouldn't be the first thing that I would assume would be a thing. But yeah, I know like the Maryville guys have been together for a while. At least the bottom side, like I was talking about, and then Zoo as well for that squad has been helping them out a lot. So that makes a lot of sense that they would just like be able to click really well as soon as that came through. And it definitely seems like you guys are clicking well too. You haven't lost a single game in big league so far. How has that sort of been like the competition and all of the group stage?
I did expect some of the big name players to put up more of a fight, but I don't want to get too cocky because I think a new team with like who's a Viper and Ender and stuff.
Yep.
Like those players are all really good in solo queue, so I don't want to like get too cocky until we beat those guys, and then I'll get cocky.
Yeah, so also, it's just this background for anyone tuning in. We are recording this on Tuesday, so you guys do have quarters tonight. This will be premiering on Wednesday, which will be after quarters, and then like before semis, where you guys are matched up against Revival, I believe. Or Winthrop. It's Winthrop, yeah. So the C-Law finals preview, potentially. Yeah. And it's been like really kind of fun watching the Maryville roster, obviously, because we know like the core, just like from being around the scene in NA, like what Shady and Evan and Wolfie can do, Nathan as well, Odd Orange. But obviously, like you coming over into a different region, we all know that like you were pretty talented and obviously had quite a long tenure over in that region as well, playing competitively for 5 years among 4 different teams, if I'm doing my research right. But seeing you slot in here, I mean, it really feels like you were the big difference in that group playing like in the top lane. Do you think that the competition, like compared to the region you were playing in, like that professional league, like is it similar? Is it not as much as you were hoping for? Like what's that been like?
I think in OPL, the top 4 teams are all better than all the amateur teams here. But there's like, and also it's so weird. There's like some really good players, like like Shern, Calvin, stuff like that. But then everyone else is like the gap's really big. It's not a good spread of like good, medium, bad players. It's just like really good or really bad. So I'd say the top teams are better than here, but like on average they'll be better than like half the OPL teams, like Anu and who's that team with us, Solafide?
Yeah, Solafide.
Like
Yeah, that is interesting. I definitely makes sense. Like the legacy team even went to Worlds, so if they're that good, then that definitely makes sense that they'd be better than
that was Babbitt's team, right? Cause they were pretty good. I was really impressed with Beb at Worlds. Like he's
a beast.
Yeah, he really impressed me. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean here in NA now we've got a lot of those like top tier guys. In especially like the academy squad, and you guys will likely be going up against them. Hopefully the point structure doesn't screw you guys over because you missed Risen, but I'm thinking that it's not going to. I mean, you'll very likely be going up against a lot of your old teammates and a lot of your old competitors as well. Talking like King, Triple, Surenfire as recent examples. Those guys are all in academy. Two of them even on the same team. So what are you looking forward to playing against those guys in the Proving Grounds circuit?
Yeah, like obviously I want to verse C9 the most because I know Isles, Kelvin, Shern, like that'd be. And since we're like an amateur team, if we lose, it's whatever. But so they've got all the pressure on them. So I think it'll be quite fun to see how they do.
Not even. I mean, obviously you guys are an amateur team to definitely prove like you play at this level, but you're also a collegiate team, and counted the asterisks for collegiate with how good you guys are. So that'd be even funnier. Collegiate team beating up C9 Academy.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, Shern, mate.
That's what we like to hear. Do you like still keep in pretty good touch with like a lot of the OPL players like came on over? Like are you guys like in like contact, especially like with like some of your old teammates?
Quite a few, but not like all of them.
Yeah,
like Shern, talked to like Shern, Cupcake and stuff, but not every single one of them.
Did you guys duo up until they told us that you can't anymore?
The Masters Plus
solo
rule? Oh man.
No, I'm a solo player, not a duo abuser.
No duo abusers? Okay.
We
only leave that. Yeah, we only leave that for bot lane, where you run into running this Sven Vulcan mysteriously every game.
I was autofilled ADC versus those guys the other day, bro. It's rough.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. Yeah,
they're pretty
not
good.
Bad,
Nothing for me will be as terrifying as going up against. I had to play against the tactical core JJ lane at the start of like last season. They're playing.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're playing Cinder Nautilus. It was brutal.
Yeah, Core JJ is the best player I've seen in solo queue for sure.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
I have not had the misfortune of playing against him, but I remember the best pro that I've seen in my game, or at least just like performance, was Cody-san. He was smurfing on my team, and I got him as my AD, and like that was the easiest bot lane I've ever had. I'm not even kidding. Like he was so good.
It's almost like those guys are up there for a reason.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming into this Proving Grounds and everything, you guys, you will have to you'll be playing against a lot of the academy teams and everything. I'm curious to know, like, were there any of these academy teams coming into the off season that gave you offers to be on their squad? Like, how much did you have to like consider doing that, or hanging out with the Maryville guys in CLOL?
I had a few talks, but no like concrete offers. So, but I think like even if I got offers for bottom acad teams, this like seems more appealing here. But you know, obviously if I got like bottom tier LCS or top acad, like, it'd be pretty hard choice.
It like the more appealing like at Maryville, is that just like because of your talks with Zoo and developing talent, or like does pursuing an education like also play into that, or like what's like the big appeal like for Maryville in your eyes?
Well, Maryville gets to go international if they win collegiate.
That's true.
International competitions, like some of the best like moments I've had in League was playing at Worlds MSI. So I want to go back international, and obviously going international in NA, it's like it seems like it's either LCS, like winning LCS, which is a big jump. So it's like good to, you know, like warm up here, I guess, by going international, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's actually like really interesting, like because I remember talking with, I think it was like specifically like Niles and like his experience like traveling to China for that collegiate worlds, or what they did with bringing in some of the top teams from the region. But that's it's like interesting like how that's like your like one of like the big appealing factors, right? Because you're right, like that is definitely something that is unique to collegiate. If you win, you do get to rep the country, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
So speaking of Niles, actually, like we've seen that coming into this year, two of the Maryville players actually just went straight up to LCS. I'm curious what you and Maryville kind of like have as your goals for that. Like, is that something that you guys are looking at doing as well, or if even if that does happen, are you guys like wanting to stick together and do the whole collegiate like 9 yards and all of that stuff, or what's like the main thing you're looking to get out of this Maryville Proving Grounds and CLL opportunity?
Yeah, I wanna like right now every day I'm spent just like putting in all my effort into like league, solo queue, VODs, like scrims, because I want to go straight to LCS as soon as possible. But while I'm here, I'm gonna do my best to make this team succeed as well.
Yeah, I mean, beating up on academy teams wouldn't hurt,
True.
Just letting them know, hey, I'm here. I'm over in Maryville. Let me know if you want me to sign me.
Yeah, it's actually really funny too, like watching you guys play now with this roster compared to the last one, because you're playing pretty similar style, right? Where it's kind of like Wolfie's gonna grab something like TF and give top lane a little bit of like help and love, and like you or Niles like were the ones that oftentimes like carried it through for Maryville. Is that something that like you feel like the fact that like for the core it is kind of a similar style, do you think that's something that's like beneficial, or when you like look to like the 5 players in the roster, like that just kind of started happening like naturally, the fact like we can just gravitate towards Chippys, and if we dump some resources into him, like that's where our strengths lie, right?
Yeah, I think it just like worked naturally, but I think Zoo built the roster like that on purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he wanted to play differently, he would have grabbed something like tank top, like Ornn weak side guy. But he knows like I'm really hungry to, if I get a small lead, I'll use it to like carry the game, as you've seen some games. But like it's really easy with Wolfie and Shady because they just like I know they're moving around the map so much. It's like I know no one leaves their lane. Everyone just sits there, pass back to lane out of base. But like I know the game feels a lot easier with them moving around.
Yeah, it's also nice having Evan down bot too, as I know that Supernova
he's the weak side warrior.
Yeah, Supernova kind of played that same style like the last team he was on. I don't know like how much you talked about that, but he gives you a lot with little resources as an AD carry. It's always something he's done very well.
For sure. He never dies weak side somehow. It's quite cool to see.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, man. If I had an AD carry that was able to do that in my games, I'd be the happiest person in the entire world.
Smack support stonks going up is what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you mentioned that Oceania doesn't really like leave lane that much. Do you think that is sort of like helped you out get like really strong into your individual lane? Because it definitely feels like you are one of the strongest, if not the strongest, like top laner that is playing strong side that we've seen so far in Proving Grounds. How do you think that has affected your growth as a top lane player?
I don't really know if it's from OS, but most of my laning improvements came because every single year I go Korea as soon as the season was over, well, except for last year because of COVID. I tried to get a Korean visa, but they said only if like your family's sick over there or something. But like every other year I've gone Korea like once or twice a year, and just like for the whole off season, because just like I don't know, like sitting at home for 1 or 2 months doesn't feel right to me. It's like feels uneasy. So I normally go Korea and just like get as good as I can before the season started.
Do you so like since you've done that a couple times, like do you kind of go back to like the same place, or like do you have like contacts over there that like helped you kind of like get situated so you're able to do that?
Yeah, I've got a really good friend called Sella who sets me up with like an apartment and PC and stuff. Normally like nearby him, so he can come help me if I need help.
That's awesome. I know
he's been really helpful.
Yeah, I know that our co-caster and buddy Raafaa was talking with APA, the mid laner for Barrage, Ian, who did the same thing one season, and yeah, they're like apparently like quite a few contacts over there that like help you get set up and help you just go play on 8 ping, and a really really good ranked ladder too. How much better like is that ladder compared to like what you would usually play on like in solo queue like here in NA and like over like back in OS too?
The ladder's on another level. Like once you break out of like once you get into like GM challenger games, it's just like every game is like harder than pro games, like the players you versus is so good. But I'm enjoying solo queue here. I think I don't know, everyone complains NA solo queue, but like they've never played O solo queue, bro. It's like it's incomparable, Like Korea's way better than NA, but like OS is not even League of Legends. It's just like
now. What was your ping over there?
In OS?
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's just like in Sydney it was like 18, and New Zealand it's like 42.
Yeah, 18's good. Yeah.
Yeah, the ping's fine. It's just like the players make the game like so.
Players need to grow up a little bit.
Yeah, these NA players are lucky, bro. They're privileged. They don't know.
Yeah. All right. So Chippys hasn't gotten tired of getting a bunch of streamers in his game yet. That's what I'm hearing.
That's pretty good.
That's good, bro. When you have a streamer, everyone's on their best behavior. No one's into.
That's actually pretty funny.
Man.
Yeah. The only person inting's the streamer.
True.
Yeah. You really don't want that to happen, because then they can get pretty angry pretty fast. But I'm glad to hear you haven't had
that's actually pretty funny,
any major problems.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that.
Okay, so NA solo queue top lane is slightly more competitive than the Oceanic top lane, at least in solo queue, but not quite as good as Korea. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, for sure.
What about Proving Ground so far? Where would you put top lane for that so far on, like, and you can factor in scrims too if you want, for because I know you guys have only played 8 games total, but where would they be on that ladder there?
4 days of scrims before those 8 games too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every top I've versed has been pretty weak in lane. I'd say if they play an OPL, they'd be like the 6th best top. Just like they're all the same, it feels like all these guys I've versed so far. So I'd put them all about 6th in OPL, I guess.
All right. Okay. That's pretty big talk, because you've played against Doklo so far. So I mean that's probably the biggest name. Trying to remember like who else was in that group that you guys had. Let me look it up real quick. So it was Doklo. You had Topopotamus, but you didn't play him. There was Quas, Quacker, and Cozy as well.
Yeah.
Quas was probably the best out of everyone I've versed, I'd say. He's the only one that knew how to use minions, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, we my collegiate team sometimes scrims against that team when they have subs. So yeah, Quas is good. Quas is really good.
But then he blind picked Nasus, and I had to lose my opinion of him went down a little bit. Like, that's a bit troll.
Wait, he blinded Nasus?
Yeah.
What?
It was a bit in.
Okay, I want to like go back and take up a Raafaa file now.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. I did not know that happened. I need to check this out. Was this like was this on one of the Maryville streams? Can we go back and look at this?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Well, copy. I know what we're doing after this.
Oh my god. Yeah, we need to watch some Snoop Dogg be played in the top lane. A little bit of Susan. You know that Nasus over here is called Susan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna keep on catching Chippies up with the NA lingo. Honestly, like when you first said that, I'm like, oh, Evan's just like indoctrinating Chippies and like all like the dumb memes that he likes to share. But I guess it's in-game stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys like.
It's not just like the words. It's like it's weird. They talk faster than in Oath, if that makes sense. Americans just like speed talk. So it's like in game. What did he just say? Should be fine. But I've gotten used to it now for sure. It didn't take long because obviously it's still English.
Right.
Took a few days.
Life's a bit more hectic over here, but English is still like compared to other languages like very slow when spoken.
That's true.
Yeah. Learning Spanish and trying to keep up with that. That's those Spanish speakers, man. They talk so fast. I can't do it.
No, yeah, that looks tough.
Yeah.
Who's the loudest person on Maryville that you've noticed so far?
The B team top Dinka. He's in another room, and I hear him more than anyone else.
Oh, Dinka, man. I bet he just like is he like screaming out like Dinka diff like in their scrims or whatever.
I don't know about Dinka diff. I just hear screaming all day.
That's hilarious. I mean, we've been seeing his clips of the orange solo queues, or solo kills. And everything.
You take any credit for training him up on those?
Nah, bro, that's all him. He's a beast. He's a level 1 Ord King.
Oh man, I'm actually curious. Like, given the development, like with Maryville, like how much do you interact with that B team? Because I know that they are a B team, but there are like quite a few very talented players on there like as well.
Oh, we talk to them a lot because like we're friends. But I'd say we do a warm-up scrim before pretty much every game against them. But other than that, we don't scrim them too much, or like I'd say we don't really like coach them because we're focused on our team right now. Because obviously we've only been playing together like a week or two, so like I think it's tough for Zoo. He has to coach 2 teams, but
Yeah, true.
he's pulling it off, so should be fine.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit with the people over at Anu because they also have multiple teams. Well, it's 2 now, but it seems like for those guys, it is different because they're not collegiate and they're not, literally in the same room all the time. But those teams, it feels like they're operating just like completely as separate entities. I don't know if they've even scrimmed yet. So it is interesting.
I'm sure they have, but yeah.
Yeah, probably now. But I remember there was like we were like halfway through Risen. And they're like, oh yeah, we don't talk to those guys at all. Like we haven't even like played against them at all. So like going into because they played against each other in the Risen quarterfinals too, and they hadn't played against each other until then. And then the B team like smashed them. So
wait, really? The B team won?
Yeah. It was pretty nuts.
They won. They
have
3-1. Yeah.
Yeah. They have 2 new players now, though. Their jungle and support are different, so that can make a pretty big deal. But
wait, why'd they change 2 after winning? That's weird.
That's a good question. Gubby, should we get into that right now?
Yeah, you don't have to.
There's some stuff around that. Basically one of them got picked up by Cloud9, so you can't be too mad about that.
Yeah, Breezy went to C9, and then some other behind the scenes contract stuff went down that I can't speak on. And don't know the full story on. So
yeah, but
yeah,
it is what it is there. But yeah, I find that interesting. Like I said, it makes sense because you guys are collegiate and you're living in the same space. But it's cool that you guys do like the warm ups before every game. That's really cool. How helpful do you think that has been to go up against the level 1 Ornn King all the time?
Yeah, he plays lane pretty well, so it's good to warm up against him because normally the collegiate tops are worse than him in lane, so it's like good to verse someone slightly better before versing who your actual opponent is.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I'm glad because like you said, Dink is quite the character. Very funny.
Yeah, he's definitely a young player with like good potential. But yeah, it's like being in like Maryville, like for everyone. I mean, it's really good situation for you guys because at least like collegiately speaking, you guys are like one of the only programs where like you actually get to pick the hand that you're dealt, whereas every other college is kind of like you just you play with the hand that you're dealt with, right? And you have 2 teams that could be very competitive in CLOL. Like obviously you guys are the favorites, but also MU Black, I'd put them like definitely top 8, if not maybe even top 4, right? So like just being like so many good players in that space and then a good staff too. Obviously like you guys are just going to learn a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, like Cubby said, we're recording this the day of the big league quarterfinals. So you guys are playing against Winthrop. Without going, well, I mean, I guess they're not going to see this until Thursday. But how are you feeling like going into that matchup? What are you looking forward to like playing against those guys in the best of 3 quarters?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm quite keen to beat Saskia because he's my mate. We're playing a bit of old school RuneScape in off season.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Yeah, Saskia is a good guy and a really good player too, and has been for a while. So I'm glad that Winthrop's impressing.
He's a good guy, but I gotta make him go 0-10. So
there you go. Yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah, you guys have that match. Cubby and I also are predicting you guys to win. We're slotting that in. And speaking of, just yesterday. So Monday, for those of you who are watching this live, Cubby and I made a bet about Maryville.
Smacks is a bit wild, but I feel like I'm going to be in the minority here. So we'll let Smacks go about this.
All right. So here's the bet, Chippies. If Maryville, if your team wins all of the playoffs, so quarters, semis, and finals, without dropping a single game, then I get to craft a tweet and post it on Cubby's page, and he can't delete it for the end of time. So, how are you going to make my dream come true here? Are you ready for this? Because I'm asking a lot of you. I need you to pull through for me.
I got your back, bro. Don't worry. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll win. But if Cubby wants to slip me, like a 20 under the table, I could play a Garen game or something.
All right. If things get dicey going into the finals, I might be hitting you up. But no, in all seriousness, that's funny, and we gotta have some fun bets to keep this a little bit interesting. So glad that Smacks has a bold enough take where I get to not have a tweet go out, but we'll keep things.
It's bold of you to call it bold with Chippys in the call.
Hey,
you don't get anything.
I mean, there are some good teams. Like Maryville is a good team, but there are other good teams in the tournament, right? So,
no, Cubby was actually so confident that like he didn't even make me do anything. If
you guys like drop like one game and like still win the entire tournament, I feel like that's like not worth like me getting to like do something to like berate Smacks, right?
Yeah.
So it's only if you guys go like full undefeated, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you do drop a game, then Cubby does win because he denies me the chance of tweeting on his page. So
true.
that's also.
I mean, I'm not rolling a lot here, but yeah, at least it's not one of my favorite podcasts. Like they like cover like football, and this guy every year he like will usually like there'll be a bet that involves like cutting off the tip of his pinky, and it's like a pinky bet. Yeah, like just like a small like tip, and the one year it was like the Texans started off like 1-5, and then he bet like he like did the pinky bet like they wouldn't win the Super Bowl, and they went on a 7-game win streak. They're like talking to like JJ Watt like on the podcast. He's like, "I'm coming for your pinky, man." It was pretty good, but we're not gonna go that extreme. Just tweets.
Just a tweet, all right.
Yeah, just tweets.
Yeah, it won't be that bad of a tweet, I think.
That's what you say. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, we have some other fun stuff to ask you here. So it says on your Leaguepedia that you have a pet lamb. So
what is the story behind that? We really want to know how the lamb's doing.
What is that all about?
All those trivia questions. My mate just trolled me like 5 years ago. I don't know how to delete it, but back then I did have a pet lamb, I guess, because I can't remember what happened, but its mum like wouldn't feed him or whatever, so we had to take it home because we have like sheep and cows and stuff, but not at our house, like somewhere else.
Yeah.
But we had to take that one home and like bottle feed it and stuff. So we did have a pet lamb technically, but yeah, the rest of those trivia questions, bro, I don't know how to get rid of them. Like, favorite color's orange? There's no way, man. No one knows.
Setting the record straight now, Chippies. What is your favorite color?
Probably blue.
All right, there we go. We're setting the record straight. We'll go fix your trivia page afterwards and source this.
Yeah, we'll talk to the Leaguepedia staff.
We had to like ask the pet lamb though, because we're like scrolling through. I'm like, wait a minute, pet lamb? That's awesome. Yeah,
that one's true. That one's true. Maximus is his name.
Maximus? Oh, that's awesome. I assume that like in New Zealand, like, do you have like community like farming areas or something like that? Because I know it's like really common like over in Europe. Where like a town will have like a block of land like set off, like everyone like gets a piece to like use to like farm whatever they'd like. Is that like where you're like keeping like the stuff or? No,
like grandparents' house.
Oh,
okay, like a bunch of land. Just chuck sheep and cows there, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all.
But the other trivia says that you enjoy anime, which I know that one's true. So, there 2 out of 3 is right.
I feel like that's like the biggest cop out for like League players. Like, name a fun fact about you. I like anime. It's like it's not a fun fact if like everyone else likes it. My fun fact is
I used to watch it once back in the day, but now I just watch like Haikyuu and Attack on Titan, I guess.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
My entire Twitter's been blowing up about Attack on Titan. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
That's true.
It's popping off, bro.
Yeah, I just want to make like some like really like hot take tweet, knowing nothing about it, and then just like send it out, and like see if like anyone like actually buys. Like I watch the show. That might be the strategy.
I'm glad that we're continuing to pressure Cubby into watching Haikyuu as well, because I've been telling him to watch it for a really long time because it's really good, but he still won't budge. So
I gotta get through Queen's Gambit still, man. Come on.
You okay?
I'm pretty far behind. Yeah, I was watching West Wing before. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So, Chippies, we've kind of teased your matchup with Winthrop. Do you have any predictions for all of Big? Is Maryville going to make a statement, come in to the second tournament for their first appearance and take it all?
I think like there's a high chance we win. I don't know about undefeated, but at least for the first 2 best of 5s, pretty confident it's 3-0. But finals, right? Surely someone good pops up in the finals that can take a game. We'll have to see.
Whoever comes out from that side of the bracket, I think it's very fair to say that's going to be a little bit more tournament tested. Given the teams, the secondary, the 2 seeds being a New Blaze and Solafide, I think that's a little bit tougher than than Revival Winthrop. But
Yeah.
EGP would, the team that you're pretty likely to play in the best 5. I'm really looking forward to that series too, because obviously they took Risen. You guys are looking good so far in Big, and I think they play the map like pretty well. And you guys somewhat play. Not like super similar, but like you're both really good at absorbing pressure. So I'm really curious to see like how like that ends up like clashing.
But did they win Risen?
They won.
They got
or
second.
No, they got second Risen. My bad.
Yeah,
Who
Solofida
won?
won Risen.
It was Solo Fide, yeah.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you guys came out with a big statement win. Yeah. That's why we're all like, whoa. Like we knew Maryville was probably gonna be like a top 16, but like when you did that, you're like, all right, they're really good.
Did you know that Solo Fide won Risen the day before you beat them 2-0?
I didn't know they won.
Yeah.
I watched one of this series where it's like a 5-game series versus Barrage where both teams were struggling. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll be close, but I don't know.
That was a really good series too. They're playing each other tonight also.
That was
So
a really fun one to cast, and that'll be on the Big League stream tonight, which you guys should have checked out yesterday when this actually comes out. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2 days from now, or 2 days ago, because it's coming out Thursday.
Oh, that's right. I can't math.
All right. We have one more fun question for you here. Give us an estimate of how many times over the course of the past like 2 months have you as a player clicked on the Gore Drinker icon?
Oh, you mean in the shop? Oh,
How many times have you bought it?
probably every second game, that item's broken.
I wanted to know. All right, can you put it in numbers? How many Gore Drinkers have you purchased?
In 2 months, maybe like 400.
I mean, you're talking to a dirty old off top line player too. So he's
Yeah, true.
yeah. That's the Chippy special.
Which I'm so fun with Gore Drinker, man.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
actually scales, which that's the
Yeah.
entire point of the champion is definitely a scale, right?
True. Type
so-
of Cassidon.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's early game Cassidon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other pocket picks we can maybe expect out of you, or you gonna hide those? I'm sure that you got some other stuff up your sleeve. The all off top was pretty public.
I've got some hidden, but I want to at least get one Fiora game this 20.
Ooh.
Well, Gore Drinker's still good. Gore Drinker Fiora.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Ooh, well, it'll have to be tonight then because they're nerfing Gore
It's
Drinker
good in
tomorrow.
a couple of the top lane champions right now. You can play it in the Gnar and Aatrox. I don't know what it's like in the Gragas, but I assume it could be okay for Fiora.
Should be fine. I'll try it out today.
Gragas can
All right.
neutralize a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah.
Well, if it's between you guys playing Fiora and limit testing, not that I think you're gonna lose, but and me tweeting on Cubby's account, I think I'll take the Fiora games.
All right. I'll keep
I'm
that
willing to
one.
risk that for us.
I know what I'm
Yeah.
taking. I got an easy call.
All right. Well, we wanna respect your time. We're about wrapping up. Is there any like last things that you want to plug or like promote for you in the next few bits while we have you on here?
I'm not sure, but whoever's watching, just keep your eyes ready, boys, because we're gonna win every 20 we enter.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good promote. Nothing like promoting yourself than good play and winning, right?
True.
Since I'm a marketer, I'll help Chippy's out a little bit here. His Twitter handle is Chippy's Awesome. You can see it on the screen. Do you have a Twitch that they can follow as well?
Not yet. I'm gonna get rank 1 and then start streaming though.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
There we go. As obviously you are still getting acclimated to the U.S. Part of the reason that you have to hop on out too, but Chippy's, man, we really, really appreciate the time, and it was really good talking with you. Glad that you made it to NA safely, and really fun to see you performing in the early season. We're looking forward to seeing more good play out of you and the rest of your squad too.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
of course.
really appreciate it.
Yeah. And everyone, thanks for watching as well. This has been the Proving Grounds Pod, episode 4 with Chippies. We'll be back again next Thursday. I believe between when this episode is released and the next one, we will also have another like Twitch episode. So be ready for that one. We've been getting that one in the works. So,
We need to
get
hit
ready for that
affiliate.
one.
Get the
Yeah,
sub
we
button.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. You can follow us on all the audio platforms, including Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and I'm missing one, Apple. That one too. So yeah, check us out right there, and we'll be back same time next week, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching.